one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here. I do want to state right up front that we have an extremely tight schedule tonight, so the council will be moving into an executive session at about 5:55, so we need to stay laser focused on what's going on. Were there any amendments to the agenda?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
Motion made and seconded. Were there any additions or corrections?
Do we need a clarification on the whole sewer rate discussion? What the actual numbers are? Or just leave it as that, because that's what we said and it...
The total we're collecting, you mean?
Yeah,
It probably would be a good idea to have that.
I don't know what that number actually is.
Yeah,
Use the number I emailed you based
Correct.
on that projection.
that'd be great. We'll just include that.
And then for me, on page 2, the health insurance plan, towards the middle, I reported that the school district has an 80-20 split. It says with a $1,000 HRA card. It's just an HRA. There's a split on how it's paid. I may have said something about they pay the first 1,000, but it's not an actual $1,000 card. There's certain coverages, and the teachers or staff pay a certain amount, and then the HRA kicks in, and it gets complicated. So you can just get rid of the 1,000, and it's not a card. It's just with an HRA.
Okay.
Great.
That's all
Anything
I have.
else? Anyone else? All right, hearing no others. All those in favor of accepting the minutes as presented, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. Did anyone have any questions on the warrant? Great. Moving forward into business. Come on in, Tim. Scott. Welcome, Scott.
Thank you. So, back again about the city bike park, the Macintosh bike park, and this is a map of proposed trail network. This was designed and laid out by a guy named Brooks Scatchard, who does he's sort of a professional mountain bike trail builder. So we went around and plotted out kind of a one loop, which is a 0.5 mile loop, and then another inner trail, which is somewhere around 0.6. There's some other things we could do, which would connect some of these, so you can kind of do multiple loops. But it's kind of a beginner loop, and then more of an intermediate loop.
Do you want me to hold that so we can get it on camera?
Thanks. We've taken this project and joined the Addison County Bike Club, which is an organization run out of Middlebury, which is connecting a trail network out of Bristol, and then some of Moose Lamoo and East Middlebury, and then this would be sort of our northern feature. So what's nice about that is it gives us the opportunity. Addison County Bike Club is part of VMBA, which is the Vermont Mountain Biking Association, and that allows us to put our grants and all our grant applications through that. So we applied for, there were some what's called naming grants through companies like Cabot, Burton, and other companies. We were one away from getting grants last week. What we're applying, that was about a $46,000 pool of funds. We have another $35,000 that we're applying for now, of a $12,000 grant. So that's sort of the first low-hanging fruit for sort of Vermont-based grants, but then there's other grant applications that we can, really focus towards kids and sort of exercise and youth, getting youth outdoors. I know that there was a discussion about liability and risk, and what we're really looking at doing is putting some informational boards at the trailheads that would both be there with QR codes to help support VMBA and or the Addison County Mountain Bike Club, as well as we could put a statement of liability, use at your own risk. I mean, I've heard conflicting arguments of that. Sometimes it's like if you admit there's potential risk, you're opening yourself to liability. Other people say, you know, if you put this saying, you're kind of covering your bases. We talked to Montgomery Center today, which has town trails. You know, they kind of just lump it all in. You know, they have, you know, much like Vergennes does. They actually don't have a pool, so I don't know what the insurance, whether there's a separate rider for risk for the pool. But you know, jungle gyms, trails and parks, and all that kind of just gets lumped into the same thing. So there isn't a specific rider that they have right now currently for mountain bike.
What kind of state permitting does this need?
We went through to get Act 250. It doesn't require Act 250, but we have a statement authorizing no Act 250 is needed. So really, there's none.
Have you thought about, is there gonna be a parking area for people that wanna get there and just use that, or if they have kids or something?
Yeah, ultimately, I think
What's the plan for one in the future?
We want to explore sort of what the ability is to enter this. There is a culvert, I think, outside of this area, just to the north, so we might need state approval to access that. Currently, there's a chain relatively close. We'd want to have them kind of move that chain back a little further.
And that topography is moderately level up there in that
Completely,
corner?
yeah.
Good,
It's completely
okay.
level. I mean, the other thing too is just encourage, again, I know that Tim's working on, you know, whether we get the rail trail set up, and there's plenty of parking with the land that is, the park and ride. So if we can connect that, that's even better. But the idea is to really have residents be able to ride to that, you know, which isn't, as we know, Vergennes not that big.
But it's up a big hill.
If you're mountain biking.
If you can't mountain bike that big hill, paved hill, maybe you know.
All right,
It's in the
so
name, yeah.
Lynn and Jeff and I will be going.
We won't be going, no.
We'll drive you up.
Thanks.
Push you around in your wheelchair.
So there's gonna be,
Yeah, exactly.
the next phase is a chairlift to the top.
Right.
From that.
Right.
So just three quick things. Scott, I have been speaking with Montgomery, and VLCT agrees with what Scott just said regarding a general over, the insurance for the city will cover this. I still have questions, and Scott and I are going to continue to work forward with Montgomery Center. What is the best way to best protect the city? Should an unfortunate accident happen, and it does happen on parts of this nature, and then where the chain is, he's discussing that actually is the access road to the solar field. So we'd have to work closely with the owners of the solar field to make sure that we're not impeding egress for their maintenance vehicles. And then Scott, I just had a question regarding the grants. Is there any have there been any discussion of a local match for any of those grants at this time?
There hasn't been a request. Some of the grants requests had a match component to them, but no, not yet. But again, we've been purposely keeping very silent on this with the town because we want to just make sure we get approval before we have sort of the mob behind us. But once we get approval, then I'll go in on Front Porch Forum and Craigslist and wherever else we want to post. That we'll have some meetings and see if we can raise funds and help cut the trails.
So aside from permission from the city, you're not really seeing any involvement, short or long term?
We wouldn't look to any budgetary requests from the city. So it'll all be basically member-driven or volunteer-driven. And having Addison County Bike Club, which now I'm on the board of as well down there, I think really helps solidify this. And they're trying to do this, in a variety of places in Addison County.
Great. And I know it's premature, but the Job Corps Urban Forestry Program would be a great asset to you when you got to needing to start to clear.
Right. No, that's true. Yeah, because it's city land, we're able to.
Great.
Good point. Any other questions?
That's great.
All right. Thank you, Scott.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you.
I'll leave that for you. in case.
Great.
All right.
Thank you.
Enjoy your meetings.
Thanks.
Yeah, we will. Moving forward to the Recreation Committee proposal.
All right.
Good evening, Tim.
How you guys doing?
We're great, thank you.
Stand over here so that the camera can get it. So I've been working, one of the directives of the Recreation Committee is to create a ped loop. I'm here for two reasons. One is to brag on the Recreation Committee because honestly we're going through a time of change and I want to make sure we stay on the radar. So I'm going to do a little bit of bragging there. And then two, I want to talk to you about this ped loop we've developing that was part of our charge to create a ped loop around Vergennes. And I've been working with Carrie McFarlane and Brent Makowski, and just lately we have brought Amy Yoon in because she is our new representative to the Addison Walk Bike Council. So, and that's originally why I reached out to Carrie, because she was that person, but now she's doing more with the city, and Amy's doing that for us. And you guys all got the packet we sent out. I assume I left mine in the car because, as you saw, I was late. But you can see here, I mean, basically, this goes through the steps that Carrie has done a great job at researching other successful trails in towns, and this is kind of our game plan for moving forward. I won't go through it step by step because I know you guys have long meetings this evening. But what we're seeking from you guys this evening is approval of our concept so we can start making concrete steps towards it. So I'll go into the concept. With the big map, I have, hold on. Yeah, that'd be great. So this is my map, is my work in progress. Everything, all these solid green lines here are existing sidewalks that we have in town. And as you can see here, that is most of the loop. And the easements we have, or right-of-ways, I'm not really sure about which is which, is we have the rail trail here, and then we have this connector here between Green Meadow and Busca, and we have this one here between Armory Lane and West Main Street. So when you add those in, we are left with very few spaces that we actually need. Actually, it's way up here, sorry. That we need permission to do this trail on this way. So that's 5 new trails that we would need to make to complete this loop. I talked to John Core on Friday, sorry I didn't tell you, and they are into supporting us, bringing this into the community garden and then back down to McDonough Drive. I talked with Scott Hardy, and he, of course, is very excited about all the things we can do with biking in Vergennes. And Brent and I met with the school, and they are into this as a concept. So that's all we ask for now is approval of the concept, because we realize there's some legality moving forward. And so far it's been really, no one said no. We've only really made contact. We've been we were wanting to bring this out along the solar farm here, because there's that service road right down there, which we thought would be real nice for connecting people to the Shaw's parking shopping area. So I think it's really important that we can walk to the grocery store. I mean, most of our population is down here, and it's a real short cut over there, and a longer cut with, the truck traffic the other way. So that's the long and short of it. We are looking for approval of this concept. We have already partnered with the Boy Scouts are eager to cut this path in here. So now I have to shift a little bit into the recreation department, because there's been a lot going on. The outdoor classroom trails have all been cleaned up. I don't know if any of you guys have been out there, but the elementary school and the middle school have both had after-school programs, and they've been cleaning this area up. And we now have new signs. The bridges have been repaired twice because of the Halloween flood.
No.
And the Boy Scouts are, Brent's been talking to them, so I can't say definitely, but they want to help us cut a path from this city property that connects to New Haven Road. And I think that should be the first step we do, because if we can connect that and produce this travel way through here, it'd be really great for all the people who walk for health in town immediately, and the dog walking. What am I missing here? And the one thing I do want to reiterate off of this is everything that will be connected within a half a block walk. That's kind of like walking around town. It's subjective, you know, like the Spring Street half block is a lot shorter than some of the other half blocks in town. But these are the publicly owned assets that this will connect. The high school, the city docks, Fisher Park, Veterans Park, and that means the pool, the tennis, the basketball, the skating, the community gardens, McDonough Park down by the river with our new path that's getting built there. The police station, this actually would go right by the police station. And the library, which is also a city-owned asset. So some of the public spaces not owned by the city that it would connect would be the rail trail and the mountain bike track. Kennedy Brothers and the Northern Gateway, which there's a high expectation for development out there, but there's really not been a lot of movement because there's not a lot of people out there. So I'm really trying to help grow that with this. The Basin Block, it comes right into the Basin Block in our downtown area. The Girls and Boys Club is there. The Eagles Club is right here. No, wait, right here. Which, I mean, when I was out here, you know, doing my GPS drops, you can see right into their pavilion. The American Legion and their baseball diamond over there. The Comfort Hill Kennels and the Lake Champlain bike tours and the proposed Triangle Bike Loop, the Tri-Town Loop that's coming into town. This crosses it twice in both concepts of that drawing. And the neighborhoods that it connects, which it goes right through. Maple Manor, what am I having? Oh yeah, Maple Manor, the Sunset Drive neighborhood, Crosby Farms, the Moncton Road neighborhood here, the Addison County Community Land Trust Apartments, that goes there. That's not Land Trust, Addison County Community Trust. North Main Street neighborhood, the North Historic District, and then the South Historic District. So pretty much this goes through every neighborhood in the town, except for Mountain View, which I think is important. That's a lot of connected assets within a half a block radius of what would come out here. In the future, we would like to expand a trail network on this side of the river because we already have some good trails established along there. But this loop, I think, is low-lying fruit in the terms of city development, and I would like your permission to move forward on it, and so we can actually start building it. And yeah, so that's the long and short of me coming for you this evening, is looking for your agreeability to this concept.
Great. Thank you, Tim.
Do you have a guesstimate of what the distance would be for a loop?
When I walked it, I felt like it was 2.5 miles. At the recreation committee meeting we had, we thought it'd be really nice if we could stretch it to be 3.1 miles because the 5K run is a very popular event. And the recreation committee is really great about eking recreation out of every activity we do. So that would be the goal, is to go to 3.1. It felt like 2.5 when I walked this whole loop a couple Sundays ago, just because anyone's like, well, have you walked it? And yes, we have walked it.
That area on Falls Park,
Down here.
which you're talking about at a later date, I mean, there is that path that goes all the way over to Collins Aerospace.
Yeah,
Comes up in through their parking lot, then you can come back down Panton Road and West Main Street, and you've got a loop right there that's fully developed.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't think you have to do much. I think that you did some work on part of that trail this year because I haven't gone over there.
Yep.
But you could certainly market it as part of this, because I think it won't take much to make it usable.
Make it longer.
I agree, and I think one of the first things we should do is to get like little signs, like the path around Vergennes is this way, and then set them up so people know where to go. Because as you can see, most of this is already there. You know, and telling people that's there and telling people where to go, I think would be a big part of making this useful.
Yeah, great.
We're working on signage, basic committee.
Yes.
Where
We
are
just have to
the
make sure they're compatible.
where are the bridges? Capital investment section.
Yep, the capital investment. So one bridge is across the wetlands here.
Mhm.
and that we are in concept, you know, like it's, we haven't talked to, well, we talk to an engineer every time we meet, but we haven't looked at it in that way. But we would like to do a boardwalk like Otter View Park in Middlebury. They have a really long, wide, accessible boardwalk that goes over a lot more wetlands than we have down
Yeah.
there.
And that's something like that in Waitsfield as well. Waitsfield has like a pretty significant on their town trail, I think. Something to
Yeah,
look into, right by Lawson's there.
gotcha. I have not been there, but we should start taking tours. And the other bridge is here, this ravine right here for the rail trail. That bridge is, I feel like one of the main things that have held up development of the rail trail is that this is, I feel like this is more problematic than this, because this is actually has some height. Like it drops 50 feet in 200 yards and then back up. Yeah, so that's there. The two sidewalks are here and here, and I'm not I'm not trying to create a lot of sidewalks, but it's from sidewalk to sidewalk, less than 100 yards, both those places, so I think it would make sense to use sidewalks. And then one of the culverts is here, and the other culvert is down here.
Great, thank you. Any other questions for Tim?
Do we need to vote on that or anything?
We have a question back there.
Shannon?
I don't have a question, I have a comment.
Yes.
Just that if the city council does approve this concept, the planning commission intends to place this in our proposed updated municipal plan, which in turn strengthens any applications for grants that we may have. So,
Great.
Perfect.
our timing is good and we're coordinated.
Great. I think we should ask for a motion and be very formal about this, so.
I'll make said motion
To,
to vote
support
to
this.
support Tim and the Recreation Committee investigating further.
Second.
Motion made and seconded.
I would like permission to do a little bit of action, because we have a bunch of teenagers ready to get to work down here.
that's what I was gonna say,
But
do
that
we
doesn't
want,
involve lawyers, or
The city property.
that is city property to city property, yes.
You and I just take a quick walk on that, maybe Friday if you're around,
Sure.
but I don't see any reason that we would stop that from happening.
And also, go ahead, Karen. I'll take the map.
So
You talk.
assuming you vote in favor of supporting this concept, there's a really great grant that we wanted to apply for. It's a planning grant. And it's a national agency. It mentioned the name of it in the handout. It requires no match, which to me seems crazy. But it seems like it's perfect for the stage that we're in, because one of the goals is community engagement. And then I think possibly for the long-term sustainability of this trail network, we want to make sure that we have lots of community engagement. So I just wanted to mention that as something that's coming up really soon.
Yeah, the name of the grant is Safe Routes
To parks.
to Parks.
Yeah.
And what started this whole concept is sidewalks to parks.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Any further discussion?
do you want to amend to allow,
We should amend to allow you to please proceed with applying for the grant. Is everyone agreeable to that?
Yes.
Yes.
And the Boy Scouts?
You and I are gonna review that.
Okay. we'll
Yep.
do that.
I
I
don't
don't
think,
see that being a problem.
Okay,
yeah,
great,
I don't think that requires us.
awesome.
All right, if there's no further discussion, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all
Yes.
very much.
Thank you.
Great.
I hope you have a productive evening here.
Thank you. We will.
Matt hopes so too.
So the last item on the business this evening was the succession planning committee update, which you all received in your packet. If you have any questions for Helena, please contact her directly. Other than that, I believe we are now looking for,
I'll make the motion to go into executive.
I just wanted to remind the public at large that our next meeting will also contain the public hearing, first public hearing for the
charter.
review.
correct.
So-
Thank you.
If you're interested, show up.
Thank you. Yes, and that'll be
Now.
at the fire station.
That is correct.
And I'll make the motion to go into executive session.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are in
You
executive
have to
session.
state.
I have to read to review a PERSA in 1 VSA, section 313,